everyone, welcome back to your Innovations channel. This is a channel whereby you're going to get all notifications on financial literacy, education, creativity, innovations, investments, and politics. And today, I have none rather than Ambassador herself, the Ambassador of Politics, Ambassador of Leadership, Ambassador of Good Governance. This is Ambassador Esther Waringa, the one and the only who vied for presidency in 2022, but it was not successful, but still there is hope. Welcome to our channel.
Thank you very much, Yasin.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be hosted by your Yasin channel.
Welcome so much.
And here we are,
Yeah.
and totally committed, as you have said.
Exactly.
Yes, we ran for 2022, and we did not get to presidency,
Yeah.
but now the journey has started again. The sixth head of state and government,
Yes.
Shukran.
Yes, so you've heard from the ambassador herself. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, smash the like button for the sake of our videos to be recommended to as many people as possible. And this goes to all the viewers. If you know that you are watching Ambassador Esther Waringa here, make sure that your vote goes to her in the coming elections. And here we are. The first question to you is that in 2022 you were to vie for the presidency, but it was not successful.
Yeah.
This means that the agenda that you had to fulfill for the Kenyans that you had promised previously, they are not implemented. So what's your agenda now for the sake of the Kenyans to enjoy your agenda or your plans that you had for them? How can you deliver them now?
Yeah, very well. And as I must say that as long as good governance is not yet realized in the Republic of Kenya, I'll still again run for presidency as the sixth head of state and government. And of course we have seen and we can see what is happening in the country. It's evident from the streets of Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa, poor governance is all over. And when we talk of a gap on governance, the gap is widening each and every day on matters poor governance. So we are here now to come and fill the gap. Matters to do with public service delivery. When we talk about water issues, there has been a crisis of water issues all over the country, and we must bring water back to the people of Kenya, where everybody can enjoy adequate clean drinking water. When you talk of matters health, the SHE is not working, the SHIF is not working. So what are we telling ourselves? That we need somebody to streamline health in the country. Look at education. Our teachers have been on the streets for the longest time. Our politicians are paid much more than the teachers. This is something that we must address, because technocrats are people who have mastered whatever they're supposed to do. If it is teachers, they have mastered being a teacher. If it is health, we have technocrats in health. So their salaries must be taken care of by the government. So that's something we're going to attend to. Now, agriculture. We have been talking about since 1963, when Kenya gained its first internal independence, we talked about agriculture becoming the backbone of our economy. Until now, so much politicization of the agriculture docket. Did we see fake fertilizer the other day? Are we seeing markets of our products not being prioritized? Because what happens in the country? Politics take the order of the day. Who are we going to elect? But so what I'm coming in to do is to ensure that we reduce in politics and focus on the development of the nation. And what Kenyans are experiencing now is a very huge gap on matters government, on matters leadership. And Kenyans going forward, what we need in 2027 is not politicians. What we need is leadership, leaders. We are coming machinally to define who is a leader. Therefore, what we need in 2027 is leadership, and I believe that I will be the president who will be able to bring the right leadership in this country. Of course, the first woman president, and it's not only being a woman, you must also have the capacity to deliver as the head of state and government. And I want to believe that with my administration, we are going to put things right. With my administration, we are going to build one cohesive nation where we all enjoy to be Kenyans. With my administration, we are going to totally wipe out tribalism, tribal blocks, that everybody is singing their tribe, their own. We are one Kenya, one children, under one God, and that's the way to go forward. Under my administration, we are going to bring corruption to a total end. Corruption has eaten into government. Corruption, as we talk right now, why are Kenyans suffering? Even right now, we are giving too much taxes, but what's happening? The money is going to people's pockets, and that is why we don't have money revolving into the economy because of the high rate of corruption. With the Mama Taifa administration, be assured that that will be zero-rated. Thank you.
Regarding to the matter of taxation that I've quoted here, it has been observed that Kenyans are overtaxed. What's your agenda, or what do you plan about the taxation? Bearing in mind that the president gives the advice to Kenyans that saving comes from the taxation. That's how they want to save, so that they can have the bank reserve. Would you advise the president to continue overtaxing for the sake of making Kenya make more money through taxation, or do you have any other way that you can help the current administration to make more money to pay the debts that we have outside the country, or internal debts? What will be your agenda for you to make more money for the Kenya?
Yeah, one, we are going to revise the tax policies, because I think we are, as a country, are raining on very poor tax policies. When we tax Kenyans to the last coin, that's a bad, poor tax policy. What are we supposed to do? We are supposed to diversify the tax base, because we cannot say that taxation and the money for the government development agenda will only be coming from taxation. No, that should only be a very, very small amount of the government development fund. Most of the government development fund should come from other programs and projects. But now, because of the government failing to diversify, the government failing to think of other ways that can be able to build up on the government revenue, then that's why we are finding ourselves in a situation where Kenyans are being taxed. But as I said earlier, because of corruption, we are also not seeing these heavy taxes, what they are doing for our country. So my administration is going to ensure that we, one, diversify the tax base. Number two, we are going to explore and employ other measures that can be able to raise revenue of this country. Like what I've just said, if we grow the country's GDP through agriculture, through trade and investment, through tourism, through mining, through energy, I'm sure we are going to be a country that is going to reduce on taxation. Actually, I look forward to my administration bringing the tax to 10% VAT, and even lower to almost 7%, because this country is very rich. When we look at the soils of Kenya, these are soils that we can be able to do a lot of agri-business, farming that is geared towards business, livestock that is geared towards business, fishing that is geared towards business. Look at the brew economy in Mombasa. We are not making the ultimate use of the brew economy in Mombasa. I was there the other day, and we agreed that we are going to ensure that the brew economy injects a bit of GDP to the economy of this country. So what has happened is that every time we wake up politics, we drink politics, we sleep politics, we think politics. We don't have time to think development. And with Mama Taifa administration, I assure Kenyans that it will be development 24/7. We want to see our farmers in farms 24/7. We would want to see our trade and investment space attracting external and international investors. Because right now, the space or the environment for trading is so bad because of high taxation, high cost of manufacturing, high cost of doing business. So what are we doing? We are sending the investors out of the country. So as we talk right now, the investors are pouring out. They are going to Tanzania, Uganda, and other regional countries. So because we have failed as a country to give them a conducive environment, governance environment for doing business. So my administration is going to reduce on taxation. My administration is will ensure that we reduce even on the cost of doing business and the cost of energy, cost of manufacturing. The cost of manufacturing is too high. So any other manufacturing in the country will just close their business and go to other countries where they can be able to have a conducive environment for manufacturing. Not forgetting that manufacturing is the greatest space that actually injects a lot of money into the gross domestic product of our country. And what have we done with manufacturing? We have killed manufacturing through high taxation and high cost of energy. So those are some of the things that my administration is going to focus. And I think my administration is not about politicking. Even those people who will be coming with me from counties, they must know that mama, with the mama wa taifa, ni kufanya kazi. It is working 24/7. If you're not interested in working, stay aside, because our country is on its deathbed. Kenya iko kwa hali mbaya. We are technically on a deathbed. So what are we talking about? We are talking about stopping or shunning politics away from development, separating development with politics. We are talking about leadership, not politicians. We are talking about birthing leaders in the next administration and not politicians. For politicians, they can go home. We have had enough politics. Now what we need is to revive this country's economy. What we need is to revive this country's growth and development. And what we need is to decapitate corruption. And Mama Taifa, we are ready for that right now.
Regarding the taxation that you've said, Zach, and I mentioned again, what are the measures that it will take to pay the debt of 11 trillion pensions that Kenya has? And what are the measures?
Very good. There are so many measures that we can undertake. One of the measures is what I've just talked about. The time that the country gives a conducive environment for manufacturing, our GDP will go high. When our gross domestic product stabilizes, then we will be able to inject more money into the exchequer. The exchequer will be able to pay the debts. But as long as we are killing manufacturing, we are killing trade and industrialization, we are killing agriculture through fake fertilizers, then our GDP will get down. And then what will happen? The exchequer will not have any money. So my administration will ensure that we are able to raise funds from various sectors of the economy, so that the exchequer can be able to have enough money for development of the nation and even for paying the loans. So it is very possible, of course, with a balanced way of doing things, not when we are told that right now we are paying taxes and the 100% of the money we are paying is going to pay loans. No. Any wise government must be able to balance. If we are getting maybe 70% of our income, tell yourself that it's only 20% that will sustainably pay the loans, and then 50%, 20% can go into the wage bill, and then 30% goes into the development kitty of government. But now, what I've seen, I don't know what is government priority. For me, I would ensure that we balance, just like what I've given an example. Get to know as a leader what percentage goes to pay loans. You cannot tell us that you are paying loan 1/4 and the country is left dry.
With 100% revenue.
Come on, no, that cannot happen. That 100% revenue is going to pay loans. Then your wisdom is where? Wisdom demands that if you have 100% revenue, or maybe 70%, get to know what percentage go to pay loans, what percentage is on the wage bill, and now we are trying to reduce the wage bill from 35% of our revenue, even to 25% and to less than that. And then get to know the amount that should go into development, and the money that should go into development must supersede the two. You cannot say that you can equal the money for development and the money for wage bill to be the same. Or the wage bill is high, the amount for wage bill is higher than development, like it is in the country. So that is something else I'm going to address. I'm going to address this thing we call broad representation. Because right now, all the money that we Kenyans are contributing as taxes is going to pay MPs, governors, senators, MCAs. I'm going to restructure government to ensure that we reinstate the former provincial administration and we reinstate the former ward development officers. We used to have ward development, water, energy, education, who are replaced by MCAs. My first thing to do in government will be to change the system of Kenya so that we are able to reduce on representation. Today, we have such a bloated government, and that is why a huge chunk of the revenue is going towards wage bill, which shouldn't happen. That's not wisdom at all.
So do you support the Gen Z agenda of reducing the bills?
100%. 100%. I'm with the Gen Zs, and I'm telling them, now you have a mother, the 60th president. Gen Zs, no cause for worry. I know nobody listened to you. Instead of listening to you, they went and formed political arrangements. So here we are, and Mama is saying what you brought on the streets: good governance, reducing the
unemployment,
not unemployment, not the finance bill, reducing on the bloated representation. Gen Zs talked about that. They say MPs, governors, senators, MCAs, we are too many. So the first thing my administration will bring will be a constitutional review movement, constitutional amendment movement that will be able to see the reduction of the bloated representation. Yes.
Do you address or do you give the Gen Zs? That is particularly the youth.
Yeah,
and regarding that, we have around 17 million people who are unemployed. What priority would you give the youth when you are elected?
Priority number one. When we see so many youths in the streets on a working day, what are we telling ourselves? Very, very high rate of unemployment.
Yes.
And I can feel the pain of our youths who have gone to universities. After leaving universities and tertiary institutions, they come to the streets of Nairobi. They come to the streets of Mombasa, the streets of Nakuru. This is not palatable. We cannot take this anymore. So for me, priority number one to Gen Zs, it is opening up employment. And Gen Zs, I don't want to take you to Saudi Arabia and to Dubai and wherever else. That will be your choice. But Mama Taifa, we are creating a conducive internal working or employment environment in the Republic of Kenya. Because first of all, why is any government in power? Any government is in power so that it can be able to set up its own systems within to ensure that we create employment from within the country, not from without the country. So first of all, one thing that I'm going to do is to ensure that we create employment within the country. I'm so saddened by the number of unemployed youth in this country, yet we have a government in place. It is just a lack of prioritization. So my administration will ensure, number one, we enhance industries, creation of industries, because this country, we export almost all raw materials and forget that we have the human capacity to process those raw materials here. What am I talking about? Look at the coffee sector. What happens in the coffee sector? We export the seeds, and it comes back as Dorman's coffee. Let us set processing plant here in Kenya to process our own coffee. Let us set our own processing plant here to process our own tea, our own mangoes, our own avocado, our own coconut, our own watermelon, our own bananas, our own sugar cane. Let us industrialize the country. And that is what my Mama Taifa administration is going to do. When we industrialize the country, we will now be assured that our youth are in employment, because industries will keep running throughout. Industries, it's not a one-time asset like the housing project. You build a house, it doesn't expand, it doesn't multiply, it doesn't increase. But
do you support it?
It is good, but it is not a priority. It is good, it's okay for people to have housing, but it is not a priority. That's one. Number two, it is not sustainable. You employ contractors, you employ plumbers, you employ machineries and whoever else, but the moment they finish, the job is done. But for industries, we will keep growing coffee, we will keep growing tea, we will keep growing mangoes. Industries will employ much more. So that forms part of my manifesto, that we are going to industrialize the nation so that we can be able to employ as many youths as possible.
Yeah, regarding leadership as a woman, it has been seen in most cases is women governors, particularly the male governor, Kawira Mwangari. I would like you to touch on this matter. Is it the perception of the public that we are led by a leader, or it's the perception of the leaders that are within the administration that are incapacitated by the government that we cannot be led by a woman. What do you take that?
It is very, very unfortunate. Days are gone when the power of a woman was considered less in the society. And we are saying, what a man can do, a woman can, what a man can do, a woman can do better. So, what are we saying? That we can be able to work together in synergy. I'm not trying to discriminate any form of gender. We can be able to work at equal footing, both men and women. And I'm so saddened by the fact that Kawira Mwangaza was thrown out just because she was a woman. It is very, very, very unfortunate because I'm running for presidency.
Yes.
And I'm a woman.
Yes.
And listen to me.
Yes.
I am going to make it as
Yes.
a woman. So we would want those retrogressive voices who probably think that a woman cannot deliver because she is, I don't know what reasons you give, by the way. Because I would not even try to think of what you think of a woman. But I tell you this, that we have women who have done exemplary well in country and around the world. We have Wangari Maathai.
Yes.
She was a Nobel Prize winner. Was she a man or a woman?
A woman.
We had Mother Teresa,
A woman.
a globally celebrated hero. Was she a man or a woman?
A woman.
Number 3, today we have Samia Suluhu, a man or a woman?
A woman.
Today we are about to celebrate the first woman president in the United States of America, Kamala Harris. Is she a man or a woman?
She's a woman.
Very soon, 2027, we will be celebrating the first woman Kenya president. She is a woman or a man?
She is a woman. And
She is a woman, and here she is. Kenyans is a total paradigm shift. We have to change our mindset and start embracing the power of women. And let me tell you, Kenyans, you are going to see the difference that a woman is going to make in this country. Remember that a woman is a mother. I think if Kawira was given some time, she could have delivered in the county of Mary. A woman is a mother, a woman is a caregiver, a woman is a caretaker, a woman feels if she's able to cook for her 8-10 children, and others are not even employed. They're just hustlers, they're just hustling, but they're able to take care of their families. You know, what about a woman as the president? She is able even to take care of your taxes. With little, she's able to do so much in this country. With a little income, let me tell you, a woman will be able to transform this country's development agenda. And let me tell you, with a woman, there will be no wastage. And then specifically, with Mama Taifa, there will be no street families. Take my word. Every child of Kenya will be in the classroom. So, here we come with the Mama Taifa administration. The power of a woman is with us here.
do you think the president has done the gender equality in the appointment of the ministers?
Okay, the president is trying, but my concern is too much political wording that is bringing incompetence. Even if we are talking about the power of a woman, we must have capacities. Even if we are talking about a big number of women representation, whether in parliament, senate, or cabinet ministries, we are talking about the capacity to deliver of women. So even to you women, if you know that you're in a particular position in government, it's incumbent upon you to ensure that you deliver. The only gift you can give to us as the women of fellow women of Kenya is delivery. So it's a big shame for those women who don't deliver and who are just a little bit not, doing what they're supposed to do and involved in corruption. It's unfortunate. But we are bringing a total paradigm shift on women in leadership. Because women, we must stop corruption. We must not be involved in corruption. Women, we must not be involved in theft in government. Women, please, we must be in the front line on matters delivery. Women, we must be positive influencers on development in the regions that we are in or in various jurisdictions like the county, constituency, wards. Women, we must deliver. And here I am to lead you, deliver as the sixth head of state and government. Mama Taifa, thank you.
Yes, Mama Taifa said.
Yes.
And let me ask, just for the sake of the public,
Yes.
the same case of a woman in leadership. If you find yourself in a scenario like Mwangaza as a president, or as the president, what would be your defensive mechanism for you not to get ousted from the office of the president?
I'm not sure I'm going to face that because capacity to deliver of any woman, and also I must say this, that we must stop playing games with governance and public service delivery of this country. Why would anyone want to ousted or to ouster or to impeach Madam President, not unless you're incapacitated to deliver, just because you're a woman? I may not discuss that much, because that will not happen, and it should not happen, and it is negating the spirit of our Constitution of Kenya. So no woman should be impeached just because of she's a woman, just because she's a gender of they say we are weaker. I doubt whether we are weaker. We are very strong. We are very strong. And we are about to experience the power of women in the country. We are about to experience the most powerful and progressive governance force of women in the Republic of Kenya.
That's true. And in the case of administration, if you're given a chance in this incumbent government or administration, will you give into any position?
I think I'm focused on the bigger picture. I'm not focused on any political games or political alignments. They have killed this country. They have destroyed this country. I think my focus is to make the next government of the Republic of Kenya, so that as the head of state and government, you are able to change from within government and from a very strategic point of authority. So I'm not really focused on that, because sometimes when you get yourself in a space that is not really allowing you to be who you are, then you won't deliver competitively. So I want a space where I'm able to deliver competitively. Right now, my focus is to change Kenya. My focus is to ensure that we are one country, one United Nations. My focus is to ensure that there is efficiency and effective public services. My focus and my running mantra is hashtag good governance. Hashtag good governance. And number 3, hashtag good governance for Mama Taifa. So until that is realized, we have to keep on working and ensuring that we take over the 6th administration of the Republic of Kenya.
That's very good. To a Gen Z who is listening to you, watching you right now, what do you want to tell them?
Gen Zs, shukran sana. Thank you very much for the good work that you have done. Indeed, from the spaces that you were seated, you realized that things are not moving in this country. You realized that wrong decisions were made in terms of finance bill issues, in terms of public service delivery, bad governance. You talked about all this, and of course, misappropriation of government funds, and of course, privatization of some of the public institutions, which should not happen. And you came to the street and you said no. So congratulations, and please just be patient. Be patient. I'm working 24/7 to be able to bring all that you said, all the grievances that you put across in our country. I'm working 24/7 as your mother to the Gen Zs, to ensure that you have employment, to ensure that all Gen Zs in the country are acknowledged and recognized as leaders today, not tomorrow, to ensure that Gen Zs are also forming part of Mama Taifa government, so that we are able to tap into the brain. These people are so brainy. I have boys, Gen Zs, my sons.
Yes.
I usually listen to them for advice. They're so brainy. I listen to them. I don't ignore them at all. So Kenya, the only good thing we can do is to embrace our boys, our girls at that age, and to know that God has given them a lot of wisdom. But of course, we need to do it with a lot of wisdom at the same time. So let us relax. Gen Zs, the new administration, the Mama Taifa administration, is coming to ensure that all is well that pertains to your grievances. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you so much, and the Kenyans are watching you right now. And I know they have a lot of comments on that, and definitely we're going to answer them on the comments, whatever the questions they ask, on your behalf, as well as your communication team. And we are very happy for having you, for sacrificing your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell people to subscribe to Yes Innovations channel. This is the channel whereby they are going to get all the politics and development agendas that Mama Taifa has for them.
Okay, asante sana. I don't know whether Yasin is a Gen Z, but we are calling upon all people to respect the good work that Yasin channel is doing and kindly subscribe to him. When I see such brains coming into the front line, I always ask myself, what can I do for them? But as time goes on, I know that we will have such brains being taken to the next level so that they can be contributing factors to the growth and development of our country. So congratulations, Yasin, also
so much
for the good work that you are doing.
Thank you so much.
For journalist, I respect that,
Yeah.
and I wish you all the best in your media house.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, the viewers. Subscribe to the channel and keep posting the content. Thanks so much. Until next time, goodbye.